So guys, this is game 2 of a best of 3. It is between AI's Seiplo, who is the Protoss player, and GLSnute, who is the Zerg player. I am SC2 England. My lovely co-caster, who thinks of me as somewhat of a god, is Pewee.
Yes, it's so true.
Now, it doesn't come out. Anyone watching on the VODs didn't hear it, but previous to this, quote-unquote Pewee, what did you say?
How do you do it, you amazing god, you? Something like that. I can't remember.
Yeah, it was along those lines. So now it is on record that is what you said. And of course, this game is a remake. The first game too, unfortunately, Seiplo's game crashed or something, and we had to cancel. We had to like remake, which is a shame. But I forgot to mention, this is Antec attack number 24.
It is.
I didn't even mention that, but that's where it is.
Yeah, and it's like
awesome.
I know it seems to go quite fast. At the same time, it not so fast. It's like every week it comes pretty quick, and you're like Antec attack.
Yeah, it comes
but
every
24,
week. Pewee. It's like every 7 days.
Yes, that's like 24. We're not that far into it. Of course, I don't know officially how many are going to be done. Originally, it was only 26, but I haven't heard that it's not going to be 26 anymore. So I don't know entirely. But yeah, these are epic tournaments. They're every Wednesday. They're for €200. So this is kind of the premier tournament that you want to play or watch on a Wednesday, really. As opposed to the Play M, the 4PLs, the SC2 goes, whatever. So
I can't imagine them stopping it after 26, to be honest.
No, that was originally when they first started doing it.
It's
that was
got
originally
really popular. I reckon
it has.
They're going to keep it up.
I hope so. And hopefully, we're not allowed to say, or I don't even know if you know about them, Adam, but we do have hopefully some other things coming soon provided by Antec in terms of tournaments. But
you'll have to let me know on the down low, you know.
Yeah, well, it's an exclusive for D-Esports, so like
you'll have
it's
to
in discussion
tell
me.
me.
I will
At some point, not on stream.
Yeah, I'll like.
Sorry guys, it's all secretive, but when it does, if it does happen, you will know. It'll be everywhere, whatever it is, and it'll be awesome. Because
and now,
well,
this is actually, sorry to interrupt and go off, or actually on topic now into the game. And weirdly enough, Seiplo, for those who just tuned in, because we've had a bunch of retweets or whatever, for those who, like, this is a game in the original, Seiplo took, Snute took this base, and it took Seiplo like a minute or so to find it, or he found it as he was leaving. But he hasn't blocked it again. So he hasn't checked for it. So I feel like that's a bit of a bad calculation there. He should have blocked it to an extent. And of course, in the last game, Snute took the...
You say that, Pewee, but it could just be a counterintuitive thing that if he went for it last game, why would he do it again? Obviously now Seiplo has spotted it, but I'd say Snute's in a good position now. He had none of his bases delayed.
Yes, and it's pretty much exact same build order. Now, this, in my opinion, is brilliant. Snute is going for the rich Vespasian gas, and I assume his idea is to take this third at this position to specifically get this gas, so he mines more earlier with
less drones.
Exactly, and that's really important because, of course, his minerals will go up and his gas will go up more than what they should.
Exactly. I mean, the other thing to keep in note is even though this is a more vulnerable position early, later on it becomes really nice to hold this because you can defend your natural and this third from the same point basically, and with a nice spine wall, Snute can be in a good spot. And I've seen some epic Zerg holds with spine walls at this position.
That's a good thing to mention. Yeah, this is like this is, I would say, the anchor point base, if you know what I mean. Like, when you move on the map or whatever, you build spines, you build it at this base, and that's like the anchor point. Do you know what I mean by that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like if you do an immortal attack, like an immortal all-in, the immortal is your anchor point. Like, you bring your units back to your immortals, because that's like where it's safe. But we actually have 2 zealots here, and they're gonna be able to get maybe 1 or 2 kills to just force the drones to run away. And
the queen does need to be careful. You don't want the queen dying. I do apologise for anyone watching on the VODs. The Pewee's voice has gone a bit weird. It's an online...
robotic.
Yeah, basically we're obviously connected to each other via Skype, and we've had incredibly bad weather here in England, which sometimes affects internet with overhead lines, so I do apologise for that, but this is some pretty hectic action, isn't it, Pewee?
Yeah, this is, especially for how early it is. How many drones did he get? He got 4 drones. That is significant. I don't know if one was a kill from the scout, but as you know, that's very significant. This Stalker will now, of course, get home because it's the century, but he also forced like an extra bunch of Zerglings as well.
Yeah.
So it's less, that's an extra less 5 drones or whatever.
Now, the one thing which you do have to notice, though, is that there's the Roach one out for Snoop, which, of course, in Game 1, he never went Roaches, he went Zergling Baneling with drops,
Yes.
so I definitely think Zergling Roach really suits itself to Daybreak, especially when the Protoss player tries to take their third, just because there's a lot of wide open space attacking that third, and there's so many force fields required to defend that adequately. But +1 ground weapons are out for Seiplo now, and, well, Snoot, he's in a good spot, I'd say.
Alright, it looks like Seiplo is going to do some sort of very, very aggressive all-in. So far it's looking like a +2 blink all-in, with no obs. Because he has all his gases, which is obviously very indicative of a tech build, and he has 4 gates, and he has, of course, blink in production. So he's going to have a little bit of trouble expanding straight away.
Snoot's taking a 4th as well, so if Snoot gets that 4th down effectively, he's also got this overlord position to the 3rd position of Seiplo, which when Lair is done, I expect will generate creep and just delay that 3rd base so much. That's just going to mean that Snoot's 2 bases up, and he's going to be in a nice position, but hang on, there's 8 gates and already blink on the way. This is an 8 gate blink all in.
Yes.
There's as far as I understand it, Puri, there's no way you can take a 3rd base while producing off 8 gateways.
There's not. There's not, and pretty much this is going to be a little. Yeah, as you said, this is going to be pretty much all in. It'll get to a point where he's going to put on pressure, and if he feels like, even with if he just can't do damage, he'll just miss a warp in and go for his 3rd. And of course, Snoot hasn't scouted this yet, so he best assume because he needs a couple of spines just to have once again that anchor point. He has a bunch of roaches, but still, roaches are not really up to a point. They're not very cost efficient against this type of composition,
especially
and tech.
when blink comes in. Blink stalkers against roaches, just because roaches attack so slowly, it's really easy to just blink back damage stalkers, and stalkers outrange roaches by loads, and it's just going to be awkward. And now, actually, Snoot helping out Seiplo here by taking out these center rocks, actually.
Yeah, I seen that. I was like, ooh. And I don't really know why he's going for ventral sacks and speed. It's not really going to save him, even if it was done. And
well, here we go. We've got an engagement, Puri, and those force fields are good. There's not enough roaches to deal with that. But once these Zergling reinforcements come in, it could be good.
Oh,
a lot of force fields are going down, but of course,
he just bent all his force fields. That's it. Now he's out of force fields.
But once those force fields go down, he needs to pick off this 3rd base ASAP, to be honest, because otherwise we're going to see Snoop be able to outproduce. He's got so many roaches coming without the force fields. The sentries are going to go, and that is a huge loss. And
we had even drones come off the line there really quickly.
I think that's a fair move though by Snoot. He knows he's 2 bases up. He can afford to sacrifice some drones. He knows this is an all-in. If he holds it, he's won.
Absolutely. Now, Blink Stalkers are one of those things that get much more potential as the death ball gets bigger. I know that sounds thin, but like you just have so many Stalkers to blink. It's like by the time like the cooldown is done, you still blink back more, and it's just
like there was
blinking.
Some beautiful blink plays.
It's just
meant nothing.
There's so many blinks going on. Like
I'm surprised Snoot's still pumping roaches though, as opposed to speedlings.
It's because the surface area of that many blink Stalkers is just. It takes a lot of Zerglings, but
I'm surprised he's not getting a couple of Zerglings though, just to try and prevent the runaway or pick up any bad blinks or anything. But we do have a constant push by Snoot, and Seiplo is actually doing so well here.
Was really there's like with blink stalkers is a fine point. I love the way that Snoot is running up to the roaches and just getting in their faces, because of course you want to kill them before they blink back, and if you can catch them as they blink, like they blink to the back and then you're still hugging them, you can pick them off in the background just about.
There's but some absolutely beautiful blinking here though by Seiplo.
Yeah,
his blink
some really nice movement.
I mean, the only reason Snoot's still holding this is because he's got speed roach, but an amazing forward blink there, Puri. And that got a couple of nice hits.
I feel like that just tipped the scale now into Seiplo's favour. He actually has the supply lead as well, which is something that you never want to let the Protoss have, especially with something that is so cost efficient. And I think that might be it, man.
I know, it's not looking good at all, and of course the critical mass of Stalkers is definitely getting up higher. And the 4th base goes down, or 3rd, depending which way you look at it.
And Snute has lost 19 drones.
That does still mean that... Actually, no! Seiplo's got more workers.
Yeah.
That's a big problem, and now, really, the longer this goes on, the worse it is for Snute.
Yes. Because the problem is, you know, Seiplo has the
and there's the GG. So amazingly, Seiplo takes the series 2-0. So he's going on to the semi-final.